Welcome back, watch fans. Today we are talking about a watch that I fell in love with in the beginning of my Rolex career, and I'm a little saddened to see it go. Stay tuned here at Swiss Watch Expo. Okay, so today we're going to go over one of the watches that I absolutely adore. It was actually going to be one of the first releases that I would actually be able to take a part in when I first became Rolex certified. Yes, back in those days, in the Stone Age, you actually had to become Rolex certified. You had to be tested by multiple people before you could be cleared to even sell the product. So during that time, one of my favorite launches was the introduction of the Yachtmaster II. Yes, it took a while for us to remember just to say that individual extra word two. But here we have it. And it is gone. After a 16-year run strong, the watch has been retired this year. I don't know, and I'm hoping that excitingly, maybe Rolex will come back with it. Who knows in what kind of color combination, but I just wanted them to know. Me, Ro, always going to be a true watch fan. Here at Swiss Watch Expo, at this time, we do have all four options. Yes, all four options. When we break down each option, we're actually going to have it with the original, which is going to be the 18 karat yellow gold. And then we're going to have it with the Everose in steel, as well as the all stainless steel. And yes, we had breaking news this morning as we begin to set up for filming. We were told the white gold Yachtmaster II, which has already been retired before this introduction, it is here and we do not know for how long. One of my favorite pieces, one of the most heavy pieces, to have a white gold in platinum, that is totally different. Whenever we talk about the mixture of stainless steel and platinum, that is called Rolosor, but a Rolicium. The Everose in steel would be a Rolosor because you're saying platinum and steel, Rolicium, or you would say Rolosor, meaning gold and steel. But what do you really call the white gold with the platinum? You don't. What do you call the all white gold? You don't. You say, this is my collectible. This is a piece I'll have forever and enjoy for the rest of my life. For those who don't know what we're talking about and are just kind of like, well, what's the Yachtmaster 2? This is the Yachtmaster 2. This version is actually going to be the steel and Everose. Everose just means that it will forever be rose gold. Rolex actually set a bar and a standard and said, hey, we know that over time, the rose gold starts to get back this yellowish tinge to it. At that time, Rolex was actually using what we called red gold, or if you were introducing to a woman, you would still say pink gold because of the texture. But with the Everose, it gave that perfect balance throughout the whole thing. I absolutely fell in love with it. Now, its purpose, it is a Regatta. At that time, it was going to be one of the most complicated Rolexes, if not the most complicated Rolex of its time. The Regatta allowed a 10-minute countdown timer. Now, at that time, I was not huge into sailing. My boat had not got off the layaway yet. However, I still knew this piece was going to be something that set a standard. So having that 10-minute countdown timer, you actually can set the 10-minute timer to where you would like to start. The purpose of it is so that you do not advance beyond certain points in sailing during the race. You actually want to make sure that you don't pass certain markers, certain lines, because if you do, then you're penalized for it. So when we turn back to this watch and we say, hey, it's a 10-minute timer and Ro, we know you're not using it on your boat as often as you should. I literally use this for the grill. On my grill, for me, it just works perfectly. I actually like to flip and spray my meat every 7 minutes. So it's something that's fun. Actually, I even have fun. I can remember once actually timing my grandmother. I told her, hey, you've got 5 minutes in the grocery store. She said, don't play with me. And I said, well, I'm setting my Regatta. And I did so, and I got in a lot of trouble. So enough of my banter. Let's talk about something that is important for you to know as a collector. There are actually going to be 2 generations of this watch. So you'll have the baton hands, which is actually going to be the first introduction of it. And then you'll have what we call the Mercedes or lollipop hand. With the Mercedes hour hand, that actually gives that Mercedes-Benz emblem or that reference to it that we all love. Doesn't mean that that's what Rolex is telling you. No, as collectors, this is what we found to say we love. The baton hand being the first collection, you would think the Mercedes would actually weigh a little more. On the stainless steel version of this watch, The baton hand is the collectible one to have because it was first. Anytime you're looking at something, you always want to look at the first generation and the last generation. Those are typically the two that will hold the most weight unless there was some slight or minute change that was done in between. One is going to have a 40-hour power reserve, one's going to have a 70. So you do get a balance of change as well, but I do want you to pay attention to which one you're buying because we want to make sure that you choose the right one. Which one is Rose's favorite? It's kind of a battle. I really do love that Mercedes hand look. I think it gives a little bit more elegance, shortens the hands to me, gives more openness to the dial. However, that baton hand, that iodized blue, to me, it just reads and screams and says luxury. It just says I'm different and I'm unique, and I'm absolutely driven crazy by the uniqueness. I love the huge blue ceramic bezel. That is not something that is easy to make. That was actually why Rolex did it first, to say, hey, not only can we do things that are extremely inventive, but we can do things that are going to be hard to do and costly. This is an extremely costly bezel to make. Rolex decided, so what? Let's set a standard. Let's raise the bar in the Swiss community. And they did. And I love you for it. This watch being one of the largest watches that Rolex actually makes, and at that time was the largest watch. This piece will forever be a part of history, forever a part of my career, my success, and a part of my memories. Tell us what you think here at SwissWatchExpo below. We think that this piece may reinvent itself one day. Maybe Rolex comes out with a solid ever rose with that blue bezel. I think I'd die for it. But we want to know. You tell us below, and we'll see you soon.